The 2025 edition of the TRNSMT Music Festival appeared to be quite popular with fans. We had some huge acts like 50 Cent coming over from the US, we had Snow Patrol, and there were even some other big artists that came over from America, such as Gracie Abrams, who wasn't one of the main headliners but actually proved to be very popular with fans. However, there was a longer delay to hear the lineup for next year, the 2026 edition, and I think fans were waiting to hear some huge names as possibly the reason for why it took a little bit longer to hear the dates. But the lineup hasn't been very popular with fans. A lot of the reaction online has seemed to be quite negative, so we wanted to go out and see what people really think about the acts that will be performing next year at Glasgow Green.
I think it could have been better.
Why is that?
There's a lot of different artists. Like, it's very broad this year, but it's more targeting different audiences than it was last year.
Not the best.
Definitely not the best.
No, there's a few, but
one
a
or
very,
two.
Yeah, a very short few.
Yeah,
that I would rate. Otherwise,
I would probably
no.
only go this Saturday to see one.
Yeah, I would agree.
See Sonny Fodera.
Other than that, you've got nothing.
No.
It's music, a few drinks in you, you're like, oh, who are this band? You might meet a new band that you like, you know, instead of listening to the same artists all the time, so yeah.
I'm not really familiar with any of the artists, but that's never a good sign.
Yeah. I'd probably only really be going Sunday for Lewis Capaldi and then Two-Door Cinema Club.
I think a lot of the artists that are playing that like have the same vibe, they put them on different days.
Yeah.
So they should probably have moved it so that it's like similar genres on each day.
I think it's slightly different than previous years. Unfortunately, there aren't too many big names compared just to this year, 2025. But I can understand the disappointment of some, and well, I guess it depends on people's choice if they want to go or not. I might not. I was going to go this year, but seeing the next year's lineup, I think it's 100% no for me.
The reaction online has been quite savage. Someone said if Carlsberg were putting on a music festival, it would be the opposite of this one. And someone said that they haven't bought a ticket, but they already want a refund. That seemed to be the reaction that was mostly online. However, in person, as you've been able to see, some people are quite excited, especially to see Richard Ashcroft on the Friday night.
A mixed reaction to the TRNSMT lineup, but it's really only a handful of acts announced so far. And for me, as someone keeping an eye out for the emerging acts, I usually look beyond the headliners anyway. But I tell you, there are three pretty massive acts. Richard Ashcroft, he's just come off the most talked about tour this year, supporting Oasis. Kasabian, they've always been huge in Scotland, so that's a no-brainer. And Lewis Capaldi, let's face it, probably between him and Calvin Harris, is there a bigger Scottish pop star? And Calvin's already doing Hampden. The gender balance thing for headliners, probably that needs to be discussed, but I'll leave that to others. Looking beyond these names, the return of legends like the Beta Band plus the Fratellis, and now Rodgers and Chic, amazing. You've also got Amy McDonald, she was great last year doing her secret set. CMAT's returning, Wolf Alice, the new acts like Lovecat and Katie Gregson McLeod. But the big but is there's still loads to be announced, and I hope when they announce more acts that Brogale, who were for me from Falkirk one of the best bands I saw last year, hopefully they get added. As I said, loads still to be announced, so yeah, so far so good.
There seems to have been the most negative reaction yet to the lineup announcements yesterday. Since 2017 there's been some huge names here such as The Killers, The Arctic Monkeys, Radiohead, Liam Gallagher, Biffy Clyro, but nobody seems to have the same excitement over the names that were announced yesterday, such as Lewis Capaldi and Richard Ashcroft, who won for maybe the older crowd that they're very excited about. But overall, it's been a very, very bad reaction online. However, being out and about today, we have spoken to quite a few folk who see it differently, and it remains to be seen how tickets will sell, given it's upwards of 150,000 people that typically attend the 3-day festival.